Hey, it's Hayden. Welcome to the RedRooster Coffee Podcast. We're counting up to episode 7 here, and I'm super excited. This is a very special episode because we have our friend Alexis Batista, who is from Panama and is a coffee grower in Panama. And we're going to get a lot of insight into how coffee is produced in Panama and Central America in general, and we're gonna learn a lot today. It's super exciting. So buckle up, hang on. Hey Alexis, how are you?
Hey guys, and look at the camera. How does it go? Look at
Look at
you.
me. Look at the camera. Look wherever you want.
No, this is pretty awesome because I think you guys were literally the first people I ever sold coffee to.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure. I was trying to remember, and I
Yeah.
was like, no, I think you guys were the first to buy greens.
I was gonna ask you, like,
Yeah.
how did we meet? Did we meet through coffee or did we meet through bikes?
No, I think we met through. It had to be through coffee, and
Okay.
then we found out that we both like riding bikes,
Yeah.
and then you had like done a trade with Bicycle Sport or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yo, that was old school. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Gosh. We did a coffee for them. That's a decade ago at least.
Yeah, I
No,
think
if not
so.
more. Although I still have that Cannondale Synapse.
Nice. It's a great bike.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. That's hooked up to my trainer now. Yeah, cool. Well, it's a pleasure to have you. Thanks for coming. And we're actually drinking the Tour de Floyd blend today while we're talking. I thought it was appropriate because we both ride bikes, and of course Tony and you ride bikes. And the Tour de Floyd is like our big spring fundraiser for Blue Mountain School, which is a local school here where my children go. But it's also an awesome project for Red Rooster because we make a coffee and we sell the coffee bags, and we also sponsored the event and we do all the organization. So it's a big deal around here. This will be the second year that we do it. So we're going to be a little bit better at it, I hope. But anyway, we're going to sip on some Tour de Floyd blend today.
Nice.
So
Yeah, I know I did the event. If anybody wants to do it out there, it's a beautiful event, beautiful roads, hard, very hard.
well, Floyd is known for like being hard. That's why we have a lot of bike rides, because people like to come here and ride up our hills.
Yeah. And what is I forget his name. Is he the one they call Quadsworth?
Quadsworth?
Yeah.
Gordon? Yeah.
Yeah, Gordon. And on the official flyer, I think it's the 70 miler. I think it says 5,000 feet of climbing, but in actuality, it was closer to like 8,000. So,
Wow. Gordon could do that riding backwards.
but it was a beautiful, beautiful ride, and I think some of the best roads I've ever been on.
Yeah, it's amazing here. We love it, and riding bikes here is a great way to enjoy it. So,
Coffee.
well, coffee, right? Well, I just want to get started because on just like your personal background.
Yeah.
Because obviously you're from Panama, but you're bilingual and you spend a lot of time all over the world, but in the United States. And so tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from in Panama.
So Panama, technically, I'm from a little town called Concepcion, which is at the bottom of the mountains. And then we have family all around there. The coffee now, I did not know this. So how we ended up in the U.S. is my mom married a serviceman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's how we ended up here. And they since got divorced, but we've all stayed friends. And I met up with him about a year and a half ago in Portugal, because he's living in Portugal now.
Crazy.
And I do not remember this, but he said that my grandmother, so we had like personal coffee fields, not
Yeah.
fields, but just around the house or whatever. And then she would pick it, she would process it, and then she would pan roast the coffee. The only part of this that I do remember is that she would do pour overs, and the way she would do it is she took apart a hanger and she tied like a sock to it, basically sewed
Like
it,
bent the hanger
bent
to
the
fit
hanger
the sock.
around, yeah, and then she would just put it over the glass, and that's how she made the coffee. That part I remember. I don't remember the pan roasting part of it, but he's like, no, she would pan roast it there, and I was like, I don't remember that part.
Wow.
So, and then through association, through cousins and stuff is how I got into more in depth into the coffee.
Yeah. And when was that?
I don't know. Like I can't remember the year, but it started out as initially an investment with a cousin of mine, and he talked me into investing and buying cherries from other farms. We would process it, and I went down there and we did that. We bought cherries from a farm in near the Costa Rican border, and we processed the coffee. The processing they were using was terrible. Like it was very dirty. So I came in and I told him, I was like, I mean, all we have to do is read a book. Like, so
We could do better.
yeah, we could do better. We could do better. And then actually he was real impressed on how clean the coffee came out. And I was like, man, all you have to do is read, like the
Yeah.
information is out there. So we did that. We sold the coffee, and then we were going to do it the next year, and the money disappeared.
The money disappeared.
The money, the initial investment, the money disappeared. I'm still to this day trying to figure it out. So then what I
Like the
told
money
him,
went in and it didn't come out.
yeah. So what I told him was like, look, we had bought some equipment, some processing equipment, and I was like, the equipment's mine. So I took the equipment and I started working with his sister. And then with his sister in her fields, we started harvesting that, doing different processes for me. And that's how I got into it. And then I started doing my own plantings and got going. Tragically, she fell off a ladder and died.
Oh my God.
I know. Yeah.
That's horrible.
That's horrible. Yeah. But she was a badass. Like she worked 24/7 and she built up like a business of just like buying cherries from different people she had her own plantings to her own mill at the end. And yeah, she was in Panama at her height. I think she was moving close to 200,000 pounds just in Panama.
That is substantial.
Yeah,
She was moving. She was only selling it in
Panama. Yeah,
Wow.
just in Panama. And just a badass, Jelena. And I learned a lot from her. I think just hard work.
Yeah.
And so I don't know who's taking over her business now. I'm guessing, I think her other brother took over it. I'm not
Wow.
sure.
That's a tragedy.
Yeah.
Let's get a little granular with it, just for people who kind of maybe don't understand what we're talking about when we're talking about buying and selling cherry.
Okay.
So you have farmers who are growing coffee, and maybe they might be have it domestically, like just have it around their homes.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they're just they're just growing trees along with coffee trees along with like plantains or other like things that they subsist off of or that they sell at markets and things like that.
Exactly. So depending on the areas you're in, so near the Costa Rican border, a lot of them will grow plantains in between the rows.
Yeah.
Because that's year round, that harvest.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can harvest plantains year round. And then in Boquete, it's changed a bit because the farms have gotten so coffee has grown in popularity and they can sell it for higher prices. But a lot of the smaller farmers will grow tomatoes or a lot of times even onions around the plants to sell in the market.
They have like how many trees? Like some of those smaller farmers.
Oh, it's small. Some of them, I've read a stat. I don't know how true it is, but one farm in Brazil can grow more than all of Panama put together.
I think that probably makes sense. Yeah.
So most of the farms are pretty small in acreage. So for example, we're farming only 3 hectares, which equals maybe 8 acres around there. And that's small. Some of the famous farms like Esmeralda, they have plots in different areas. I don't know in total how much they farm.
Yeah.
But I'm hard pressed to find a farm that can fill more than like a container a season or 2 containers at most.
And so someone like your friend, she would go and she would buy coffee from small producers who have like 3 hectares or less, and they would pick the cherry, and they'll go to her with basically a truckload of cherry.
Yeah. Well, she picks it up because they don't have because a lot of the small farmers don't have the money
To even transport it.
to even transport it. So she goes to them, drives the truck, and they count the latas on the side of the road. So the latas are basically a 5-gallon bucket, and she'll pay them per 5-gallon bucket what they pull out that day.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, it seems like it would be pretty hard to gauge the quality if you're basically have a 5-gallon bucket by the side of the road.
It wasn't about quality with her. It was more about the quantity.
Okay, yeah, because she was selling in country.
She was selling in country.
And what's that coffee going to turn into? Is it going to turn into instant? Is it going to turn
No,
into...
no. It'll be sold, let's say, like in the grocery stores.
Okay.
By major players, like let's say in Panama it would be Café Duran. Duran is probably the biggest one, and it was a Panamanian company.
And so they're just looking for cherry.
They're looking for bulk.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
cherries. Now they will pay more for ripe cherries. So when you go and you work a contract with them, you guarantee them that you're going to bring ripe cherries.
They're going to float it.
Yeah.
And if there's too many green cherries,
that's on them.
they might not buy from you next
Yeah,
time.
exactly. So you're kind of guaranteeing them, but for the most, they just want bulk.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So why, I mean, I don't want to get too in the weeds, but I'm curious, like, why wouldn't they just go buy the cherry? Like, why do they rely on the mill?
I think it's just the manpower.
Convenience.
And it's, the convenience of it. And some of these, you have to go in the mountains to get some of these coffees out. So you're talking in little 4-wheel drive trucks.
You're not going to drive Jeeps if you're Duran up to go.
So it's, that it's been set up that way. And I think it's just like, it's the way it's done.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Although the other side of that coin is, so on the one hand, the buyer can't guarantee the quality, but on the other hand, the seller is probably getting like a bottom dollar for that, right? Like if they drive out to the side of the road with their 5-gallon buckets of coffee cherry, how are they negotiating price?
From what they hear, what their neighbors are getting. The mill has the power. The mill controls the price.
Yeah.
So the mill tells, my deceased cousin, like what they're willing to pay her. And then she has to go and beat down the farmer so she can get that transaction.
Because she needs the margin.
She needs that margin. Yeah. So the farmer at the end, the farmer makes the least amount of.
Is on the lowest end of the totem pole.
Exactly. Yeah. Because he has no way to get that coffee out of there.
Right, because he doesn't have a mill.
He doesn't have a mill, and he doesn't have the transportation to get the coffee out.
Right. So he just has to take what he can get.
Exactly.
And if somebody says, I got $1.50, then he could say, well, hey, could I get $1.50, basically?
It's pretty hard on them.
Yeah.
But Boquete proper is a different animal.
How so?
There's more money.
Because of the geisha producers?
Yeah, and the influx of investment. And the farmers themselves have taken it upon to learn. And the Panamanian Association, actually, the Coffee Association, has done a great job educating the smaller farms on producing better quality, so they're able to get higher prices.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though they're still probably selling to the mills a lot of the time, they're gonna be producing.
A lot of farmers are still selling to the mills, but more and more everybody's processing their own coffee.
Really?
Yeah. So it's harder for the mills the mills are paying premium for cherries in Boquete. So especially if you're growing the geishas and you can guarantee them red ripe cherries, they'll pay you a premium for those cherries.
Well, that's interesting. Because you would think if those folks could process their own cherry and have a means to export, they could probably make even more money.
Even more, but the contact of who do they sell it to?
Right. If somebody just comes up to them with money,
Yeah.
it's hard to say no, right?
Yeah. They don't have those contacts to get it out of the country.
Right. Well, let's go back to you a little bit. You got your mill equipment. You got some equipment.
I got some equipment.
By losing
way more than
the value of the mill. And then did you have some land? Did you have some family land?
I had some plantings, and then I started working with another cousin, and what he was having was he had no interest in the coffee. He had the land, the coffee's there. It was planted by his grandfather. And he's like, man, let's work together. Because he's like, I don't make any money out of this.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a losing proposition. And I was like, yeah, let's go look. And I didn't know what he had. And as it turned out, he had 90% típica.
Wow.
Yeah. Which they call criollo. And
say it again.
Criollo. Yeah, so you hear like, oh, criollo. What plants do you have? I have criollo. You're like, I don't know what that is. And it's just like the native. They call it the native plant, and it's típica.
Wow.
And típica, but the problem with típica is it just doesn't throw that much coffee.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't produce like a caturra.
Yeah, exactly.
Or something like that.
Yeah. But it's a beautiful coffee. I love it.
Yeah. Well, everything that we've had that you've given us has been incredible. So.
And it's the plant, it's like.
It's the mother plant, right? I mean.
Yeah.
The Típica was the first commercially grown coffee. Throw back 1,000 years here to when coffee was leaving Ethiopia and going to Yemen. That was what they were planting in Yemen because it was out of the varieties that they had at that time or that they were using at that time. It was the best tasting and the best producer.
And it seems like it's actually resistant to disease.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. I know the catuais and caturas are supposed to be.
Yeah.
But they don't seem to be as resistant.
But Bourbon is very subject to disease. Is that?
I'm not real familiar with Bourbon. There is a guy down in Costa Rica that we cup together, and he's got some beautiful Bourbons.
Yeah.
That I don't know that much about it, that particular plant, because I've always only dealt with the geishas, the catura, catuai, and the típicas.
And the Típica.
Yeah.
So you took on this project with your other cousin.
Yeah.
A lot of cousins in this story.
A lot of cousins, yeah. And honestly, it's like unless you have a lot of money, it's only the way to get into it, really.
Sure, it's family.
Yeah, it's family through family. And yeah, so then, basically I would control the farm, all the practices and all the harvesting. And he just wanted to check at the end, and it's worked out. And then I have my own plantings. So I have about, in acres, I have about 2.5 acres, and it's típica, mostly típica and some geishas.
So how are you currently running harvest? Are you, hiring pickers?
Yes. So the way it works is there's 2 guys that predominantly work on the farm, and then when we go to harvest, we take people from the other farms that want to make extra money, because we do pay more per lata, and I'll pay them more per lata. And then the guys actually have been awesome, like picking ripe cherries. Since I'm paying them more, they'll do it, and it's not an issue.
Slow down a little bit to pick the ripe cherries.
Yeah.
And is that the issue when you're picking? Is it like if you're getting paid per lata?
Yeah, you're just gonna
pick
yeah.
everything, right? And so then if you get paid more for picking ripe cherries, then you slow down and you just pick the red ones.
Yeah. You still want to go fast because you still want to make more money.
Sure, of course.
And my other friend, he just told me that he's paying per hour.
Really?
Yeah, he's paying per hour his workers. And I was like,
how's it working out for him?
How's it working out? And it's still up there. But
yeah.
he's got some beautiful coffees. And I think his geisha at Best of Panama, his geisha, I think it was like 4th washed. Yeah, 4th place washed. And his
nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, and he's got another varietal chiroso.
Yeah. We love his chiroso.
Yeah, he's growing chiroso, and that's a wild coffee. I love it.
Yeah. It's got like a savory thing going. Like it's sort of sweet and savory at the same time.
Yeah, with his, I got a lot of nutmeg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, spicy.
Yeah.
Totally.
So, but and his farming practices are pretty badass too. So he's doing it right.
That's cool.
Like it's not just, you know, Instagram pictures. Like he's trying to live it. Hunter Tedman is his name.
Okay.
He's an awesome guy.
That's
Actually,
cool.
he's the president of the association right now.
Okay, so he knows what's up.
Yeah, I mean, and he works hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he lives it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about Boquete a little bit. Like where is your farm?
The two plots that we have is Boquete is a small town, maybe the size of Floyd.
Yeah.
And the mountains just go up from there.
I've never been there, but I'm going to remedy that. But we're talking about like a volcanic bowl, basically, like a kind of a crater that, in my understanding of it, is like kind of creates a little microclimate in this volcanic bowl with the city, the town, Boquete in the center.
Middle. Yeah.
And the farms kind of radiate out from there.
The farms radiate from there. None of the farms, that's the kind of cool thing about Boquete is none of the farms are really that far from city center.
Okay.
So it does make it a little more feasible and easier to transport the coffee.
Yeah.
And the government has paved a lot of the roads to the farms. So even
the government did.
Yeah, the government has. So they've worked hard on getting farmers a way to get the stuff out.
Yeah.
Now, some of the farms, like, because with the weather, I know some of the farms have moved higher up the side of the volcano, and some of those roads are still, like, there's no roads to.
Are they doing that because they need more land?
More land and colder temperatures. The temperatures don't get as cold.
Is that a climate change issue?
I think so, yeah. But yeah, I think it is a climate. It doesn't get as cold as it used to.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it gets too cold.
Right. Temperatures are more extreme.
Yeah, so it's more extreme. So if they're going up higher, the temperatures are dropping to where it can hurt the plant.
Yeah.
But I think Panama has concentrated a lot on the processing and how to produce this. But I think it is the land. I think
Boquete and the bowl and the mountains surrounding it are specifically tailored or, benefit growing geisha and typica.
I think so. I think one of it is our weather pattern. For the most part, in the past, we get consistent rains and a consistent dry season. That has changed a little bit. The dry season isn't as consistent as it used to be. But, and then we do get some high winds that, especially where I am, that come through the farm. And like the water doesn't stay stagnant on the trees.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that helps a lot with the molds and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we get the winds get pretty crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think it helps.
Yeah. That's not something I've thought about or heard before.
Yeah. So it's naturally drying, and most of the farms that you'll see aren't packed together. The trees are at least 7 feet apart.
So they're not just like stacked on top of each other and having lots of condensation.
A lot of condensation just hanging on
and
there.
Just
yeah.
a great place for fungus to grow, basically. Yeah, that's interesting. Your coffee education is basically self-taught.
Self-taught and basically...
And working with your cousin.
Yeah, working with my cousin. The processing, I'm not scared to ask questions. And again, I just have to say, Panama, like, everyone is really open, and I think everybody's been learning together.
Right.
Because, 10 years ago, nobody cared. I mean, I think it's pretty recent that people started really caring what coffee tasted like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
those producers maybe like never had a chance to taste their own coffee.
No, there's still producers that have never had their coffee.
Yeah.
It used to be you would, like, let's say you were buying cherries off of someone. You go there and you're like, oh, let's drink coffee, and they just give you instant Nescafe.
Yeah.
They never tasted their own coffee. They just sold off the cherries.
They weren't making a one-to-one relationship to it. Yeah. Yeah.
It was just a crop that they had to sell.
And I can remember, even being in like Nicaragua, Costa Rica, where producers are sort of like watching you taste the coffee.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure all of a sudden. Like,
Yeah.
it's good, you know, but like they had not had a sort of third party assess the coffee. Like, they were at the stage where they were like tasting the coffee and they were trying to improve, right? But then this would be one of the first times where somebody would taste it and be like, this is what we're looking for. Yes, you're doing a good job, you know?
Yeah, no, and again, like to answer your question, I asked a lot of questions. There was it's called Finca La Milagrosa, Don Tito. He helped me out a lot because I would just go ask him. And he built all his own equipment. He's kind of like, he was a little legend in Boquete. And he built like his own dryers, his own, because he didn't have the money. And he built it out of car parts. And he has, I mean, one of the best geishas I've ever had was from him. It was like pure lemonade.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah. So you were saying earlier that like acidity
Yeah.
from Boquete is, you know,
I
something that you look
that's
for.
my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I think like a Panamanian coffee, you can spot it from the bright acidity. It should throw citrus, lemons, orange zest. When I taste that in my coffee, I'm like, oh yeah, I did it right.
I feel like the really shining examples for me have always have had so much clarity. Like you can get a lot of like jasmine, honeysuckle, like super floral from Colombian dishes. And really like, you know, small lot geishas around the world will have a lot of floral aspect, but then you sort of like muddy in the center, you know, like not muddy, but cloudy, not a lot of clarity. But like the best Panamanian geishas are like, they're crisp. Like it's like you can taste each individual note as it crosses your tongue.
They are. They are clean coffees in general. Even the naturals come out a little cleaner.
Yeah.
And very distinct flavors.
Yeah.
But I still say that those Panamanians have to have that backbone of acidity that kind of holds it up.
What's your take on processing? Are you like pro crazy processes?
I'm pro crazy processes. I'm anti co-ferment.
Anti co-ferment. Tastes like Kool-Aid.
Yeah, but like no, bringing in like foreign agents to the coffee and the fermentation. But it's at the same time, I think it's cool that people are doing it. You know, yeah. Right. I don't want to do it because I like for my coffee to have like a time and place. And
that's interesting.
Yeah, so I want it to taste like that area.
You want it to taste like the terroir.
Yeah.
You want it to taste like where it was grown.
Yeah.
And be able to sort of like specify those things. So like, this is going to taste like this year after year.
Yeah.
Because of this.
And it does, except that one kind of crazy ferment I did where it was straight Kool-Aid. And I felt it lost the time and place.
I remember that we bought a coffee from you that you like had an extended drying period though, where you like you had it in like a carport.
Yeah.
Or like in the shade where you dried it for like a really long time.
And I stick to that even now.
Oh, really?
So every coffee I do now, I extend the drying time because I feel a lot of it gives it time for that seed to absorb those flavors.
Yeah.
So on my coffees, I do extend the drying. Like if I feel it's drying too fast, I'll pull it off. My other buddy has a theory that he wants the coffee the first few days to, especially naturals, to dry really quick, and then it encapsulates it, the exterior.
It holds it in.
It holds it in, and then he'll extend it. I haven't tried that yet because I'm like, oh, it's too hot. No, I'm pulling it in.
Yeah.
But I think next time I'm going to try to do like a really fast drying the first couple of days in hot sun, and then slowly take it out.
Yeah. And I mean, these lots that you're doing like this are pulled from basically your plantings. Yeah. What's the long game for you with those? Are those experiments that you would apply or that you would help other people apply to their crops?
I feel really confident about my processing. My theories have come from like wine. So how like the fermentation in wine. So I did basically like a 2-month internship in Burgundy and
Cool.
helping again learn about fermentation and how they do it. But I don't know how great it was because they're like no hands off. They're like, no, it's in the vineyard. When you bring it in, don't mess it up. Let the grapes do what they do. And I've kind of done that with the coffee where it's like pick the right cherries, treat the plants with respect. And then when you bring it in to ferment and depulp and dry, just don't mess it up.
Yeah.
And
Well,
yeah.
honestly, I think we take that approach roasting too.
Yeah.
Like we think it was like, well, we don't want it to be, we don't want you to like feel our influence. We just want to like take what the farmer has done and the producer, the processing has done, and like present the very best version of that.
Yeah, and I think you guys have done that. Like this coffee, I mean, is it Guatemala? I forget what it is.
This is a blend.
A blend.
This is a blend, and in fact, I think Tony put it together. Like we just launched this coffee, so
well, it's great.
I don't know what it is.
No, it's good. It's has great body, and I like that. I'm not getting any roast flavors on it. I think I'm getting like the seed, what it's intended to taste.
I think
like.
it's Tony is he's really focused on development and extending that development period to really bring out as many sugars as possible, but also not push it to the point of roastiness, obviously, but also balance the sugar with the acidity. So the more sugars you create in that development process can then start to break down and create acetic acid, and so you can get overwhelming acidity, or you can get a lackluster acidity. And I think he's dialed it in. I mean, he's worked really hard. He's been roasting coffee for 14 years.
Wow.
For us, and so he's gotten pretty good at it.
No, I think I think some small farmers could use the help in just the basics of cleanliness and the drying and respecting the fruit. Just like, hey, if you do this, that coffee is going to come out, really good.
Yeah, yeah. And do you think those measures are they expensive to do right, or is it time?
I think it's time because, most small farmers, they don't have a savings account to sit on.
Sure.
And they just need that cash right away to keep going to buy food for that night or that week. So why am I going to sit here and baby this coffee for a month?
I need the money now.
I need the money, yeah.
Yeah. Are those mills, how are they drying? Do they have like concrete patios?
The big mills, they do different. Like if it's staying in country, and this is sort of anecdotal, I don't know about everybody, but a lot of them have the big ovens, and they'll dry it in the ovens with
what are those ovens called?
Carriolas?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And so they'll use those, and most of that coffee stays in country.
So that's like a fire is outside.
It's a wood fire,
and it blows air in.
Yeah,
it's like the smoke goes this way.
Supposedly.
and the hot air goes this way, and then it's like a silo where they have like stacks of coffee.
Yeah, it's really it's a drum.
Oh,
there's two different ones. There's the little silo ones.
I've seen the silo. I haven't seen the drum.
Oh yeah, no, there's huge drum ones, and it's a big drum, and it's basically like a roaster but less heat.
Wow.
And I don't know how long it takes to dry. I honestly don't know. But in certain weather conditions, and you don't want to lose your coffee, you do that. But again, these mills that are doing that, I don't think they're treating the specialty coffee that way. Right. This is the bulk coffee that they'll sell off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a coffee that was dried like that, which was an incredible coffee, but then like we realized that it wasn't fully dried. Okay. And it actually went really bad.
Oh, wow.
It turned into vinegar basically.
No, that's like, in the beginning, that was like one of my biggest worries was like, is the seed to the right level? And I bought like a little
Moisture meter.
moisture meter. And then, but now I don't even use the moisture meter. I do it by feel, and you bite into it and this and that. And every time it's come out to be pretty accurate, right around 10 to 11%.
Yeah.
And because the moisture meter, for some reason, kept giving me readings all over the place. And if you do naturals, it's nearly impossible for it to get it quite right. So
Yeah.
if you just do the old method of like when it's on the parchment and the parchment comes off easy and then you test it, it's pretty accurate. It's like 10 to 11%, But back to the farming thing, a lot of farmers don't know that because they've never processed their own coffee.
Sure.
Yeah, and when they try to, they'll get mold.
Yeah.
Or it'll start rotting because they don't know, like.
Because they don't have it dry enough.
Yeah, and they don't know, like, you got to keep that coffee.
You got to rake it.
You got to keep it moving.
Yeah.
Especially naturals.
Yeah, I'm always struck at Origin where like the day is basically spent raking. I mean, it's on a big mill. It's rake it all out of a pile.
Yeah.
Out onto the patio, then eat lunch, then rake it all back up into piles.
Yeah.
And that's like the whole day for like a month.
Oh, you're moving the coffee around constantly all day long. Like you're, and then you're looking at, especially in Panama, you're looking at the sky like, oh, is that rain coming? Okay, we got to pull in the coffee,
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the bowl there, like creates storms.
It literally could be hot sun at my place and I go around a kilometer away and it's misting rain.
Yeah.
And it's just the way the mountains work and the weather patterns. So you do keep an eye out in the sky all the time, especially if you're drying. Now, people are drying in greenhouses now.
Okay. Yeah, like hoop houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's another aspect to control it. I haven't done it yet. My buddy was having issues with the wind, always tearing up his
Sure.
plastic.
Because you said that the wind was really intense.
So he's like, oh man. So he was trying to find a place in the farm where he could get sun and build that. But I think he ended up building a glass one. But then he said it got too hot. So he was trying to figure out how to ventilate it more. So it's like this crazy process.
Yeah, no doubt. Patios or are they using the like mesh material?
The big mills are using mostly patios. The specialty stuff, I like to do the beds, the raised beds.
Yeah.
I feel it, but then you run out of room is the issue. Yeah, you run out of room because they take up so much room. And then, there's like different theories of like how thick to make the coffee in the beds and that kind of thing. I've never gone really thick. Most of mine, I try to keep thin, and I put it where it gets partial full sun, and as the sun rotates, it gets shade, so it slows down the process, which is what I'm striving for, slowing down the drying. Because I feel like the drying is like where a lot of the flavors come from.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fermentation process, right? So the microbes and the yeast are feasting, and
now I've never tested to see what exactly I have in there, but there is a continuity in the coffee. Like I can there's this one distinct flavor that comes from, I'm saying, from my area that I can taste it. When we cut blind, there's a lady, she's got one of the most beautiful farms I've ever seen. She's on the other side in Volcan, Cerro Punta, and she does not like my coffee. And I know when she gets to my coffee because she's not a good poker face. And she gets to it and she's like, and I know exactly the flavor that she's getting, that I think she's getting. But she's got some beautiful coffees too.
Wow, that's amazing.
But it's good. It should taste different.
Yeah.
It should. It shouldn't be homogenized.
Well, you love to experience your coffee or experience coffee with people who have refined palates and who are like really thoughtful about it, no matter what. So, yeah.
It's like wine, you like, certain regions and you don't like other regions.
Yeah.
And it should be that way. Like all coffee just isn't black water,
Amen. Amen to that. So you spent time in Burgundy. I mean, you were kind of a wine aficionado.
Yes, I had a wine bar for 13 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I did that. And so Most of my honestly, all my processes come from the wine background. Like every idea, I have a little book, and my wife makes fun of me because it's like a coloring book, and I write all my notes in there, and I try to be an artist and draw like grapes and stuff or coffee beans, and then I say what I did and what process worked, what didn't, or what like. Because I tried one process where I was leaving it more in the skins, but I was getting way too much mold. I had to pull it off. Like I just couldn't control it. Like I just could not control that. So, I mean, in a period of 5 hours, like the mold spores would just,
Oh,
like,
wow.
I mean, yeah. And I was
Wow.
like, so I wrote that one. No, don't do this one.
That's a big X through that one.
But it was, yeah. So you just got to play, and I think, we were all learning
Yeah.
on that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I want to take it back a little bit, like just to the actual tree itself
Okay.
and the growing, because one of the things that I always talk about, but I'm just spitballing in a lot of ways, it's sort of like philosophical spitballing about how long it takes for a tree to grow and actually produce is like 3 years, right? And so during that time, like what are you doing, or even like once it comes to producing, like how are you protecting the tree? Like how are you, and the people that like trying to get the most out of the tree itself? And like another aspect is like pruning. Like I was so struck, first few times I was at Origin, like they're taking these trees back to the nub.
yeah. So that's after like the tree quits producing.
Right,
So that's
yeah.
a really old tree when they cut it down. But you would have let the shoot come up, a new shoot come up, and then you cut it if you did it properly.
Okay.
So you'll take one, the shoot would get higher, and then you go ahead and cut it.
You take the rest.
Yeah, and you take the rest off. What I haven't done, I want to do is like really heavy pruning of the dead wood on the trees. Supposedly that's helped. I'm a little scared to do it because I don't really know what I'm doing in that aspect of it. But another friend of mine, he said he's been doing it and he's learned a lot, and he's gonna teach me more how to. It's what's worked for him.
Cool.
On that.
Cool.
Because before people just let the trees grow wild.
Yeah.
So.
But pruning creates more fruit.
Yeah.
In the end.
Yeah, and hopefully like a healthier tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or else they'll like self prune or have dead branches.
You have just dead branches or just branches that don't produce, like I think in Spanish we call it like the hardwood. It just doesn't produce cherries. Yeah.
Are you like fertilizing along the way?
We do fertilize. So I don't use any like chemical fertilizers. So I do use a friend of mine that has a mill. He'll sell me, it's a mixture of the old cherries and the parchment.
Yeah.
And then he's also mixing in chicken manure, and he'll sell me bags of that.
Okay.
So I use that on the trees to control disease. For Roya, I've only had to spray like chemicals really. One time there was like a pretty good spread of it, and it was what year was that? I think it was like 3 years ago. We had to spray pretty hard, but it was like one section individualized. I don't have like a big old motor one where it's just express smoke everywhere. No, it's like individual plant.
And Arroyo is kind of the most famous like
the rust
coffee
disease.
rust.
And it does come on quick.
Like how quick?
Oh man, like once you start seeing it, like it'll start underneath the plant, and you'd be surprised. Like in a couple of weeks, it'll start spreading. And then in my area, well, not in the other, the higher plot, I don't have this issue. But on the lower plot, what I've had an issue with are ants. Yeah, carpenter ants.
Really?
Yeah.
Eating the trees?
They'll eat the tree.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they'll eat the tree, and but it's funny what another farmer taught me is to plant lemon trees or citrus, because they'll eat that first. And then you'll see them attack the citrus, and then you follow the trail to their nest and take care of it.
Wow.
But they'll
I've never heard of that.
yeah, no, they'll decimate it.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think they're called carpenter
Yeah.
ants, and it's cool to see it because it's like this whole like they have like their soldiers and the carriers and protecting, and it's really cool. but
It's like, I'll watch it for a little while.
yeah,
And
they'll
then,
decimate your. The first time I saw it was at night, and it felt like the ground was moving because there were so many of them.
oh my God.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
yeah, and I think the issue is in my area where the second plantings are used to be more coffee farms there, but people abandoned the farms and they cut the trees and just put cattle, and there's nothing for them to feed on, the ants.
Yeah.
So then they start attacking the plants. Yeah.
They go to the next best thing.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that common? I mean, it seems like coffee's lucrative enough in Boquete that people are growing coffee.
The ants it's not a common thing. Like they're higher up. It must be an environmental thing that they don't go that high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about oro de gallo, my personal favorite, the little eye fungus that grows out of the leaf? Do you guys have any of that?
I haven't had that issue.
Oh, okay.
No, I haven't had that issue. The only other issue I've had is if you look at the seed itself, it looks burnt on one end.
Huh.
And in Panama, they call it Diablo de la Montaña. And what it was explained to me is that temperatures were dropping too low and it scars the seed.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how true that
So
is.
like freezes the tip of it or something?
I don't know how true that is, but that's what I was explained to me.
Frost nip?
Yeah, causes that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I
Yeah.
don't know if that's what
It's,
the way it explained to me.
it's something about the like rooster eye, the way that it has like a slit and a round in it. It looks like this fungus, the oro de gallo.
No, I haven't seen that one. Yeah,
okay.
I haven't had
Yeah.
that issue. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
What's like present day look like for you?
I was just having that conversation with my wife because I recently got married 2 years ago.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And my plan was to spend more time in Panama. For a marriage, kind of doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to figure that out because I do want to take the coffee to a higher level. Like that's my goal.
You want to produce more coffee?
No, I want to produce better coffee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's actually how we feel here. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I want to produce better coffee, the best coffee I can produce, especially washed coffees. Like I think washed coffee is like definitely my favorite. I've been doing mostly naturals because kind of the market kind of wanted naturals, but when I have a beautiful washed coffee, I'm just like, this is incredible.
It's the pinnacle.
Yeah, to me it is.
Yeah.
And I'd love to produce a better washed coffee or the best washed coffee I can. And my facility, I want to improve my facility to do that. And, that takes money to improve the facility. And you have to spend more time there. So we're trying to work that out. How am I going to be able to do that with being married and coming back and forth in Panama? Part of it is better management of people, which I think I've been really bad at, just delegating.
It's impossible. It's like the biggest challenge.
Yeah, so delegating. But what I have done is the two guys mainly that work for me, before we start processing coffees, at least once a week, what we'll do is we'll go into town. And the beautiful thing about Boquete now is there's beautiful cafes because it's there. It'll support it.
Yeah.
And I'll go and I'll have one of the baristas teach them, like, one, how to make coffee and like how it works in that side of it because they've never seen it. And the importance of the difference in flavors. So we'll do that in the mornings before we go do the grunt work. And I'm hoping it teaches an appreciation of why we're treating the coffee this special. And I tell them too, I was like, man, if you learn how to be a barista, like quit and go, like,
It opens up a whole world.
yeah,
to
it
you.
opens up
Yeah.
another world. And
Yeah.
I was trying to get one of the guys to go take English lessons,
Yeah.
and because he could be like a guide, like a coffee guide.
Sure.
And doesn't have to do, because it's hard work
Yeah.
It's such hard work and labor intensive.
How long is that?
So this in Panama, different areas depending on elevation ripen at different times. I start harvesting 1st of December, late November, and I don't finish harvest till usually like mid-March because we only pick ripe. So we do different passes of the farm. So like every 2 to 3 weeks, we do a pass of the farm.
Yeah.
And we only pick ripe. And so we wait for it to ripen up in enough ripe coffee for the guy to make money. So we wait for that. And it's usually every 2 to 3 weeks, we'll do a pass of the farm. And, but it gives also time for me to spend more time processing and going through that. And I'm pretty lucky where I am, where I process, because I just process at the house. And it's built on a hillside. And the garage, basically my garage is the processing area. And on the back of the garage, temperatures stay really cool, almost like a cellar. So I've noticed that because I ferment in grain barrels, and if I move the barrels to the back, the fermentation slows down. And then if I move it to the front, the heat comes up a little faster. So I call it like a cold
And
ferment.
fermentation is creating its own heat anyway, right?
Yeah.
So
it's awesome. It smells like a winery in there. It really does.
Yeah.
I love like this, like one season I remember it was like pure bananas that it was coming out of it. It was awesome.
Pure bananas.
Yeah, like it was just like, this is like bananas.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of the particular yeast that is that.
Oh, see, you might know. I don't know.
Has a banana. There is a yeast that has a banana aroma.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I'm going to look that up.
Yeah.
I did not know, but it was like pure bananas.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
You probably that's a strain of that yeast floated in on the wind.
Yeah, and again, I don't inoculate. So I don't inoculate, and I don't float anymore.
Really?
So I don't float because I feel it removes the yeast, because you're throwing it in water, it's cleaning it.
Yeah.
So I don't float, and I'm counting on when we do the density at the end, that's taking the floaters out, and it does. Yeah, because I feel if I float, it's washing the cherry, and it's taking away that yeast, those microbes that are there that give me the flavors.
Already.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I quit floating, and
I mean that's unorthodox.
yeah, I guess, yeah. Because I mean, the density machine does take care of a lot of that.
Yeah. That's like the vibration density machine.
Yeah. And if you go to a good mill, and you have a good relationship with them, because I don't have the equipment for that. That part I do have to take. And the guy I use, he's pretty awesome, and he'll run it several times through the density machine to get it cleaner and cleaner.
Nice.
Yeah. And
then what do you do with the extras?
So the extra stuff, I was selling it off in Panama. Like, let's say that I like the thirds. The thirds, I definitely leave those in Panama. And I worked out I was selling it, but it was like almost not worth the money, like the time. So I met a guy, and he has a little roadside restaurant that's really awesome. And I trade him he gives me credit to eat there. And then I give him my coffee. So that's what we do. And the coffee's pretty good. So get this. So he sells it, all the taxi drivers, bus drivers, locals go there. And he sells it 50 cents a cup. And he told me he moves 80 to 100 cups a day.
Dang.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
On like
on
shards of coffee.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know who roasts it for him.
It's on a pan in the back.
I guess. I don't know. I tried roasting it, and it just like, it's nearly impossible. It just like burns it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's
but
funny.
it tastes pretty good. And like, I was like, this is a natural. Yeah. But yeah, 80 to 100 cups a day at 50 cents. I'm like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. Give me a taco and a cup of coffee. Thank you.
And he makes the best food too.
Yeah. What's the...
Oh, typical, like I would call it like a meat and three.
Yeah.
So like chicken, rice, and vegetables, and plantains, the traditional meals. But my favorite thing he has there, he does like natural juices. And I think what he's doing is he's trading people too for like
The fruit.
that they can't sell at market that doesn't look right. He takes it and he makes like fruit juices out of it.
Ingenious.
Yeah. Panama's known for Boquete is known for its strawberries because we can grow them up there. So he does like a great little strawberry juice. It's awesome.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I want that right now. Yeah.
Oh no, it's good. I miss it. Yeah.
Well, so let's just say, let's dip into like the theoretical for a minute, like a sort of like personal, selfish, personal, philosophical journey. Like, what would it take for a roasting company like RedRooster to like get, what we would like to do ideally in the future is like be connected to more farmers like you, or farms that who are like maybe disconnected from their coffee, disconnected from the like final product. You're a very special instance because like you lived in the United States, you know where it goes ultimately, you know what the consumer wants, and you also like have the background, you have the wine background, you have the coffee background, and you have the palate to say like, I know what I'm looking for when I'm processing. But that's not everybody. And you talk about the smaller farmers that are taking lattes to the roadside and selling them to the mills. And I'm just like, my mind is thinking, well, what a company like mine would like to do, would be able to do is like say, this farm, if they picked ripe cherry and then it went to somebody who was processing it, like Alexis is processing his coffee, then like we would like to be able to pay a higher premium for that ripe cherry that's processed really well and help make those connections. Like, obviously it doesn't happen overnight, but how is that possible? Is that possible in a place like Panama?
I think it is. I think it's hard getting like a small farmer to trust that you are going to pay, because the farmer has been taken advantage of for the most part. And then, they have, let's say, a local mill that they've worked with for years. And why would they ruin that relationship with somebody else? And it's not guaranteed that, like, I'm going to keep coming back year after year after year.
So, I mean, it would have to go through that mill in some ways, right?
It would have to go through the mill, and it would be trusting whoever makes the deal with the mill that they're paying that farmer that price.
Right.
That can be controlled when it's unloaded at the mill, and because they weigh it at the mill. Like if you can bring and transport it yourself, you get to the mill and then they weigh it there, and then they'll give you a check then and there. Sometimes, or you come at the end of the week and you get paid. You can control it that way, and that way like, hey, we've agreed on this price. You're gonna pay this farmer that. The getting it out of the country, and I can only speak for Panama, it's fairly easy to get the coffee out of the country. Now, getting it on the hands of the end user, that's the hard part, where it would be like you guys would have the market for them, like guaranteed market that you're going to sell it.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Because I'm privileged that I can drive to Floyd, Virginia on beautiful roads and come talk about it.
Yeah.
And like, nobody can do that.
Yeah, they don't have the access.
No, nobody can do that. Yeah. I mean, just getting a visa,
It just feels like technology should be able to open up that access, though.
I would think
just
so.
like trying to think about, I mean, obviously, like a farmer is not going to have the same access to technology that we have. But anyway, you and I should continue the conversation off camera and just try and think through those things. I just want to hit on one more thing that I thought was interesting from our past conversations, and just wonder what your perspective on it is that I just remember you saying that, like, there's still a fairly large indigenous population there, and that, that they're often maybe used as pickers.
If it wasn't for the indigenous population, coffee industry would not exist in Panama. The indigenous population, 100% are the pickers. 100%.
Really? Yeah.
It would not exist. It's hard work, and a lot of it is kind of like migrant workers, sort of like because you have your it's called comarcas, which is an Indian reservation, and during harvest seasons they'll come and work in Boquete. We do have an indigenous population that lives in Boquete, but for the most part, the indigenous population has been taken advantage of in Panama. And I can only speak for Panama, but I will say in the coffee industry, in the last 10 years, it has improved so much. Where if you came to Panama 10 years ago, you would have never seen like a Native American, indigenous Panamanian working in a place of leadership. Never. It did not exist. And now, no, you like baristas, leading the farms, the processing, roasting, and it's awesome. It's like you can get out because in the past you were never getting out of being a picker, and that all has changed. And
What do you think has led to that change?
I think it's the Panamanian Coffee Association that we can't grow as much coffee as Brazil, but we're going to try to grow the best coffee and try to get the best prices. And that has allowed to, get everyone on board and improve it. And I mean, there's still that discrimination there towards the indigenous people. It is, you can't ignore it, but it's much less. And honestly, it's only in the last 10 years. But I can only speak for the coffee industry.
Yeah.
Other industries, I'm sure, but to this day, without the indigenous population, the coffee industry cannot exist in Panama because they do the grunt labor.
It's made on their backs.
It's made on their backs.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
I remember you saying that, and it stuck with me, over these years. So, this has been really enlightening. This has been so much fun. I have learned a ton in this conversation. So thanks for making the trip. I really appreciate it.
No, it's a beautiful drive, and if anybody wants to come to Floyd, Virginia, it's a pretty special place.
Yeah, I encourage it. So we're gonna wrap up here. Make sure to hit the like or subscribe. It helps us out, and it'll help other coffee nerds like us find this channel and learn more about coffee. So thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
Thank you.